Welcome to the BBC.
Bring me your balls.
I feel like it was like a bad one night stand.
No, we're like, I'm gonna take on the world.
Lovely Las Vegas, where you can bring a hooker to your room, but you can't bleach an asshole.
Sometimes I bring cats.
Working for Luba is like working for Hitler with tits.
Whoa.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the BBC podcast. Big Black, between both Cheeks podcasts. We've got our calendars mixed up here today. And this is the Between Both Cheeks podcast. If you want to learn about the other one, that's a different type of a show. My name is Becca, and I'm here today with Erin.
Hello, everybody.
And today, well, first of all, welcome back, everybody. We apologize for the big delay and the gap. We kind of went on hiatus. We were doing the New York trade show, IECSC. And I was just telling Erin before we hit record, I feel like every time we start a new trade show, especially the big ones, the podcast goes to the back burner and it's like a month in between episodes. So today's topic, funny enough, we're going to talk about trade shows.
Trade shows, yeah. So not only did we do New York, but the week prior was Vancouver. So we were in Canada and then we were in New York. So we were on both sides of the continent within a week.
Crazy. And we had I had 1 day apart. You had 2 days apart in between the shows. So it's back to back, you guys.
Yes, it's exhausting. It's fun. It's a lot of work. Funny enough, here's something somewhat, related to the trade shows, right? So we all have on our social media, how much fun we have and, just the bright side, right? No pun intended. Just that portion. But I recently got a text message from a family member saying, wow, it looks like so much fun. It doesn't look like hard work, but it looks like a lot of work. And my mouth dropped. Yes, my mouth dropped to the floor. And I'm like, and this is a text message. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I responded back. I'm like, actually I work 13 to 15 hour days and it's extremely hard work. She's like, oh, I guess I must just not know enough about it. No kidding. So today, Becca and I are just going to dive right in.
Yeah, because if you don't know, if you've missed episodes or you've missed us on social, Erin is our new director of operations. She started in January. So now Erin does all things trade show.
All things trade show, and it has consumed my life.
It's a lot, right?
It's so much.
So the trade shows are going to be Erin's baby now.
Erin and Becca's baby, because I need help, girl. It's so much.
Yeah.
Just coming from a world that's completely different, right? So I was in the hair industry for 16 years. And then, switching to, still the beauty industry, which so many things are similar, but, the daily tasks that I complete are, on a different scale completely. Just the cost alone, finding out what that is, to do these shows, to have a booth, to get your product there, to get on time, get your product, get your booth there, get your people there. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Astronomical.
It's a lot.
Gas was high.
Yeah, if you guys think inflation is big at the grocery store, at the gas station, it is, but if you've ever done a trade show on the back end, like for the trade show to supply you a garbage can at your booth, they're made out of cardboard. They're like a disposable temporary thing, single use. It's It's $45 typically,
$45.
which is
And they don't even
crazy.
come empty it during the day. They only do it at night.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even get a garbage can. You have to like steal them.
Yeah, you gotta like go around and be like, excuse me, where's my garbage can? Here's my paper. I paid for it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah, just the shipping costs. So the garbage can costs Wi-Fi. Becca, we had this conversation yesterday. How much is
Yesterday.
Wi-Fi at the next show? It's over $1,000.
For
I don't
2
even pay
days.
that much a year for my home to
Yeah,
have internet.
yeah. Isn't that nuts?
$1,000
For
for two
2
fucking
days.
iPads, and then for somebody to come plug it in or give you the password.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong industry. Maybe we should
Yeah, no kidding. Hey?
show internet provider. Gosh.
And they do, they
Um,
get you pigeonholed because if you need Wi-Fi, for
and
example,
they
from
put
the,
blockers.
yes, so Erin, tell us the story in New York. For all of our recent new customers that we met in New York at IECSD, this is what we were dealing with on the back end.
So there's a couple things I could talk about.
Well, let's
So
start
New
at the
York-
beginning. Let's start at the beginning
Okay.
because this was your first show where you were planning it and learning the ropes.
Okay, so hush hush, you're not supposed to have, hotspots. They want you to use their internet, which I get it, right? I understand. However, when they charge you what they do for the internet, it's just unfair, right? You're already paying, $10,000 plus just to have a spot at this show, right? To sell your products. It doesn't include shipping. It doesn't include your wages of your staff. It doesn't include, the cost of your product, nothing. It's just to have
Just to get in the
a
door.
booth, to get a booth, put your
yeah.
booth. So anyway, not an electric, you got to order electric, all of that. On top of it, we have these hot spots and you know what? They just don't work. Unfortunately, the buildings put these blockers on, so you can't use your phone hardly works.
Mhm.
So, day one of the show, we did set up the day prior, then we did the, day one of the show where they're 2 hours early to meditate, blah, 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 do all this, get ready for the day, feel prepared. Well, our internet's not working. So Becca and I, we go to the service desk. There's a long line because apparently we're not the only one with the same line. And what did the guy say? He was just right off the bat, he was not pleasant. He was not the happiest person. And there was so many people. He's like, well, I can't give you a time guarantee. It was, how much was it? It was $300 and something, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can't give you a time guarantee, blah, 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 blah. I said, well, do you have like any idea at all? Nope. Great. We can't check clients out. Great. All right. I'll wait. See what I can do. Luckily, we have these iPads with data, and for some reason, those worked. I don't know why or how the universe was
Thank
helping.
God.
Yeah, thank God. So we're back at the booth. The whole day passes. It was the busiest trade show I've ever attended in my life. It was unbelievable. And no Wi-Fi all day. So the next day, Becca and I go there and I'm angry. I'm like, what the fuck, man? They never showed. He's like, oh, they never showed up. No, they didn't. So finally he sent somebody out, and I was like, well, can we have a prorated price because it's so expensive? And he's like, nope, we only have one price. And I'm like, well, can we have a refund, or can you,
Mm-hmm.
so I was, starting to get angry, and Becca just pops right in. She's like, could we just maybe have more devices instead of the 2? And meanwhile, I watched him. He's like, sure. Good cop came in. Sure. And he's like, I can help you out with that. And he just puts the password into this like hidden Wi-Fi network. Yeah. So to get back, just because I feel like we needed to make our, get our money's worth. I saw him upside down. I watched him put the password in. Anyone I met that day got the password. All of our staff, all of our everyone, free Wi-Fi. We paid enough for it. I feel like
Yeah.
we had to get our money's worth.
Yeah. And
We did.
especially considering we didn't have it for one of the 2
Honestly.
days, one of the 3 days.
And
That
at
one
this
was
show,
free.
it was like $400, I think. It was close to 400. It was 300 and something.
It was between 3 and 4. Yeah.
It was, and that's a lot of money. Once again, that's like what I pay a year. I pay $45 a month at my home in Chicago to have fiber internet. And I mean, that's $500 here, essentially.
Yeah.
And here we are, one show.
Yeah.
So there just goes to show the cost, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy. And at these trade shows, when you're on the back end, more often than not, the motto is you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Yes.
Like you were saying with the Wi-Fi, he wasn't able to refund it. He wasn't able to do a discount because we had missed a day, and it was their fault entirely. We didn't do anything to have that happen, right? Just
No.
nope, that's the price, and get the fuck out.
Yeah, that's essentially that
Like
how it
they're
goes.
they're
There's
not
like
in the mood for
there's no reasoning. There's no nothing. Nope.
no.
No.
Although I will say, us with our t-shirts, that does become a sort of currency in that world. With it's more often than not men who are working the service desks at the trade shows, and they're doing the trade jobs and the tech support and all of that. And they think our t-shirts that say, ask me about my butthole, they think those are fucking hilarious, because they are. And
So how do we
sometimes
get things done?
sometimes it's like, well, I'll give you a shirt, and they're like, okay.
Okay, what's your home address? What print do you want? We'll send it right to you. Okay, how fast can we get this done?
Yeah.
It's better than money. It's bright
Yeah.
currency.
Sometimes it works. Not all the time, depends who you get, but sometimes you can use the t-shirts as a form of currency. It's like gold. It's worth more than money.
It is. It's so good. And people, they love them. They absolutely love them. Yeah. Speaking of working them, like, so here's the staff that we have to hire that work at the trade shows, right? So not only would we have to pay for our booth to get there and to have electric and to have Wi-Fi and in all of the things, we have to pay something called material handling. And that's just for them to move your pallet from the dock to your spot and not set anything up. So Becca and Luba and I and Jake and John and we get up there the whole day before. And how long did it take us to do setup last time?
Just the booth is like 2 hours, but then setting up all the product and then the classroom is probably in total like a 6 to 8 hour day of setup with with 4 people.
Yeah.
4 to 6 people, depending on who's with us.
And we have essentially, we have 2 booths, right? So like the size of ours, typically they're 10 by 10. We do a 10 by 20 because of our booth. And we have usually 10 to 12 staff members bring. So like I said earlier, we get there 2 hours early just to feel prepared. We meditate together. We have mini meetings, talk about our goals. Remind everyone no coffee. And this show we're about to do, Anaheim, the show hours alone are, what was the first day, 9 to 6?
Yeah, they're over 8 hours each day.
So 9 to 6, so that's 9 hours. And then we get there 2 hours early. That's 11 hours. And it's hard work. Like you're on your feet, you're running back and forth, you're talking the entire time. You remember Viviana at the last show?
Yes.
Poor thing.
She lost her voice.
Completely.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. I've lost my voice before.
I
You're
usually
just talking all day long, and
all
you're
day
saying the
long.
same things all day long. Not that we don't love it, but it is taxing, and it doesn't look like it's a lot of work when you're on the other side and they're just like standing there talking to you and checking you out. but it is.
It's so hard. It's problem solving constantly. For example, the Wi-Fi, something's wrong with the booth. This isn't working. That and then, with customers, the repetitiveness. Yes, I love what I do and I love the company I work for. But it's kind of similar when you're a mom and your kid asks you the same fucking question 5 times in a row. The answer's still no.
Yeah.
It's so much.
Yeah.
It's hard to even articulate like how much we really do. You have to do it.
Yeah. You have to be on the other
To
side to see.
understand.
And if you're listening and you've done the trade shows, you know what we mean.
For example, the setup takes months. I have a list with deadlines and dates, and my checklist just is ever growing to make sure that everything is there. Right. And then when you're there, the months are finally, come to culmination of what you're doing. And then after the show, even we came back, we had 320 messages in our customer service inbox. I had 100 and something in my personal inbox. How many did you have?
I'm good now, and I stay on top of it, and I try to hit inbox 0 every day. But I only started that this year. That was like a New Year's resolution. But in the past, yeah, it would be like 60 to 180 emails, because you're really like, you are checked out of real life. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what time it is, you don't know what day it is, you don't know what's happening in pop culture and politics and news, with the war. You don't know anything. You are just confined to like your all of your mental capacity is, yeah,
completely put on pause.
Yeah. It's amazing how you can function so laser focused. It's what I imagine like doctors must feel like in surgery, where it's just like you're totally consumed with that present moment.
Yes. Now, if I could just be present in all other moments in my life, how do I incorporate that into my day to day?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it takes a special person. I mean, look how many people we've had in and out of our team. Just for the fact that they'll sit down at 11 o'clock the first day and they're like, wow, my knees are killing me. It's like, well, saddle up, girlfriend. You got a long day ahead of you.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 long days ahead of you, or 3 sometimes.
3 sometimes. New York was 3. New York was but there's so much going around, and like it is for the most part, it's very fun.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the fun things, because I don't want us to sound like we're just complaining, because it's a lot of hard work, but it's fun. And we obviously still sign up to do it. So there's something there.
Yeah. So we talked about the bad and the ugly. What's the good? We meet a
My
lot
favorite.
of people.
Yes, my favorite is meeting the people, and especially for those of you who don't know, I do the social media at Bryght right now. So I'm the one answering your comments and your DMs and doing all of that. So if somebody posts a lot about Bryght, or tags us a lot, or they make videos, or just if they're engaged a lot with Bryght online on social media, I get to know, maybe not them personally, but I'll recognize their face and their name the more often they come up. So I love doing the trade shows, because then sometimes I see someone like through the crowd. I'm like, I don't know their names. I'm like, that's lilac sugaring over there, and then later I learn, oh, hey, that's Jessica, for example. And I really love meeting people like in person. And sometimes people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, I want to take a video with you, and I want a picture with the booth and the whole team. And they're just as excited to meet us, especially the current customers.
Yeah,
I like meeting the current customers.
The amount of people who travel to these different shows, it's nice that they always like stop by and see us. And then meeting people like who work the shows too. So what was the booth across from us this time? That one, Olga.
Yeah.
She was
Zemis.
so awesome.
Zemis. Zemis. I don't know how to say it.
And then we have our favorite Michael from M&M.
Yes, with
Love,
M&Ms.
love him. So it's like, yes, we get to create these relationships with customers, but then there's this whole group of individuals who travel North
Every
America
show.
to,
Yeah.
and so, you have this thing in common, not only with the people you work with, but these people who work with these other companies too.
Mhm.
It's wild. And here all you are just traveling all over the place,
Yeah.
working
It's
beauty
like
shows.
my boyfriend, he just said something the other day, which I thought was kind of funny. He said it's like you're at a festival, traveling with a festival, touring all around the country because it's like the same people, the same brands every time, usually the same staff working with those brands. You're playing music. Well, we're playing music.
We're playing music.
We are. Not everybody is, but we are. And
We're
I was like,
blowing
oh yeah, you're right. It is
whistle.
kind of,
We're dancing.
yeah, you have to make it fun. Otherwise, it would be exhausting just standing there all day long.
That's
You gotta
yeah.
break it up a little bit.
We do make it fun. We try
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Everybody
And we're
else is trying to
starting
work on our brain.
trends now too.
We're starting trends. Tell me about our trend.
Oh my gosh. So
Talk
for
about
those of
this
you who
story.
haven't seen us at a trade show, one of our staff members, she came up with this idea to have what we call a show special. And that's when somebody walks up to us and asks if there's a discount or if we have a show special. And we try not to discount the brand at the trade shows because of the cost associated with going to them. We really can't afford to discount right now. And so when someone comes and asks us for a show special, we would say, hey, Erin, she wants to know the show special.
No. We don't just say it.
Oh, yes.
We have a megaphone.
Yes, that was my idea. I was like, we need a megaphone. We need party lights. We need music.
Megaphone.
We need bubble guns and money gun. I remember after our first trade show last year, I told Luba, I was like, we need to make it like a club, like a party. Our classrooms need to be like a nightclub, like a party, a destination to go to, and our booth. And then so one of our staff members had the show special idea. We shout it in a megaphone, like, whoever the customer is wants to know the show special. And everybody at our booth stops what they are doing mid-conversation. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Grabs their whistle.
They have a whistle on their neck, and you blow your whistle, and then you start twerking. Everybody in unison, and that is the show special. That show is for free,
and
that's the discount.
Of people are stopping and looking like, what in the hell is going on? Well, then they go into the crowd and they're like, oh, did you see Bryght? Yeah, go ask them what their show special is. So some people come up, they're like, I'm told to ask what your show special is.
Yeah, it's amazing. Which is exactly what we wanted. Like this time last year, it was in New York. She came up with the idea. It was Charlie, and we were like, oh my God, one day people will come asking for it because they've heard about it. And it's happening already a year later, which is fun.
So we have people that, there's the purple company. What is
ProCell?
No, not ProCell.
Oh, Dermagem.
Maybe that one.
Like,
so they stop
scrubs
every time. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like some people love it, some people hate it, but I think people are starting to appreciate it for sure. So that's one trend. And then this last one, I really noticed another one. So when we have our meetings, we start the day, we end the day, we are a team. We try to do everything as a team. We, make sure people, they feel, part of the team and just close as a group together. Right. So the end of our meetings, end of our whatever, hands in on 3 and we yell anal bleach on 3. And, it comes to be like a joke, like we do it at restaurants and like places where we get embarrassed. That we
airports, anywhere.
Anal bleach. But this last show, I saw at least like 3 other vendors in the middle. And they like really, really shout because we go
yelling their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, it's wonderful. I love to see, like other, brands, have that sense of, community and teamwork. So, right.
And for those of you, again, who haven't worked these trade shows, maybe you've not been to a trade show. I'm not being like egotistical when I say this. Before Bryght started on the tour a year ago in New York, the spa shows, the spa side was quiet. Nobody was yelling. Nobody was doing team cheers at the, we get there early, like Erin said. Nobody is doing team cheers in the morning. Nobody's doing team cheers in the evening. And now they are. And like Erin said, it's fun to spread, light and positivity and love and fun. And that's what it is. Like, just have fun with it. It doesn't have to be so serious. We're working in beauty.
Hard work. It's hard work, and you gotta make it fun. Otherwise, it's gonna be fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And right, we're doing it. We're making it fun.
We're making waves, y'all.
Making waves. We're gonna start the wave at the next one. Oh, that could be the next one.
That's a good idea. Oh my God, could you imagine?
New York, we could have. That was so busy. It was insane.
Yeah,
insane.
New York was very busy.
So
So that was Erin's first one in the books.
Went well.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's been 2 weeks. Our booth should finally be back at its home. And then it's out again tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, wow.
Yeah, as a whole thing.
It took that whole time to go back?
When you pay this almost, what we do for
14,000.
I don't even, yeah, exactly. And it's awful to even say out loud. But when you pay as much as we do, you think it'd take less than 2 weeks to get your fucking booth back where it belongs. And then you get in trouble, like when you're like, excuse me, where is my shit at? Like, I need it delivered.
Yeah.
Damn.
So pro tip, put air tags on your booth. That's what we do, so we can track
it. Otherwise, you have no idea. No idea where it. I mean, you're spending that much money on shipping. You might as well buy 3 air tags for $99.
Yeah.
Then you have the peace of mind.
Yeah.
Everybody gets separate. Who knows what can happen, right?
Yeah.
So what do we talk about? We talked about setup. We talked about working these shows 2 to 3 days. The classes. We talked about our classes. We talked about how wonderful, our customers are.
Oh, so good.
The people who like us, and even the people who give us the side.
Hey, it makes life exciting.
Brand awareness.
If people are noticing you enough to dislike you, to go out of their way to dislike you, you are doing something that's worth getting noticed about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good thing, especially in business. So, Taylor Swift said it, you just got to shake it off. Haters are going to hate. And it's true. You can't, you just got to continue being bright and light and fun and spreading positivity and kindness, and that will spill over into others, as we've seen. So speaking of trade shows, we are hiring for more Bryght babes to do the trade shows with us. Especially if you speak Spanish. Please apply, send your resume and a cover letter to careers@brightonup.com. But before you do, we've got some rules. So if we haven't scared you away already with all the hard work we've been talking about, maybe Erin, why don't you tell us about breaks? Do you get a break? What is expected out of a Bryght babe? Are they allowed to drink alcohol? We have a lot of rules for our girls.
So we want to promote a culture where it is fun and we have a great time. And, we're all so lucky, and we view it that way, that we're able to go and see all these different places. But, along with all that fun comes a lot of hard work, right? So we're there all day. We want to be alert. Having a drink is so fun, but we don't drink during the show. The last night we have a good time because we celebrate. We made it through, and we deserve it at that point. But the nights before or the nights during, like we don't drink. So being able to stay awake and alert is so important, because the day is long. So you must be a hard worker, not a complainer. Yeah, we're all miserable every once in a while, and that's okay. But for the most part, you have to be upbeat. Breaks. What breaks?
Yeah, yeah.
I've got to run to the bathroom. I'm sorry. You fly away and you come back. It's, sometimes there's shows where there's like a lull and, you can have 20, 30 minutes, fine. But honestly, like you better eat up in the morning and you'll be hungry at night. You have time to drink water and pop a mint in your mouth.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
honestly.
In New York, especially at this show, everybody ate their lunch in the booth, sat on the floor, kind of in the back, tucked behind some boxes so they weren't visible. Because this show in particular was insane busy. There was not enough time for you to leave and,
No
sit at a cafeteria.
Those were good sandwiches too.
Thank God they were
Shout
good.
out
They
to
were.
the deli. I don't even
Oh
know the
my
name of the
gosh.
deli. I wish I did.
Oh,
'Cause they
neither
were
do I.
damn good.
It was great. And, anything tastes good when you're starving, but again, really important to prepare and maybe expect that you're not going to have a minute that whole day. We do our best, of course, but you're an actress on a stage.
Yes, you are, and especially, we hire estheticians who are working, who have their own spots. We may ask you to be to present in one of the classes. So you can't be shy. You have to be outgoing. You have to, understand, the skin and how it works. And you got to understand your clients, right? So it's similar to your own business in that sense, but there's just this added level of nonstop, right? So that there's the spa lifestyle where it's calm and chill and relax. And then there's trade show lifestyle where it's fucking insane. Like
Yeah.
There it
Yeah.
is like a party all day and you are exhausted.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's fun. I'm not going to say it's not. Look, I decided to change my entire career path
Yeah.
after 16 years. And I mean, Becca, you're marketing extraordinaire. She's also IT extraordinaire.
Yes, I'm the local IT at Bryght as well. Which
But
is funny because typically what I just do is I Google it. Like,
well,
I don't know these things. I'm
your
figuring
keywords
it out too.
Yeah, it's hardworking, social, outgoing, all the things.
Spanish speaking.
Spanish speaking. He's Spanish speaking. It's, Viviana in Miami, we were shocked, here I'm from Chicago, where we have, multi, diversity. But that was the most Spanish speaking group of customers, and we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
And here we are, we try to be inclusive everywhere else. That's all our brand is about, inclusivity. It's
Well, we had tried to be prepared. We did have 2 Spanish speaking people on staff, and one of them couldn't make it. So we found Viviana at a cafe, in our hotel cafe. Someone on the team noticed that she was really outgoing and kind and spoke Spanish, and that was really all we needed because it was morning of, basically.
well, then turns out
she's a dermatologist. So
we just attract thank you, universe, for that one.
Yeah, but it was really, we could have done with an entire bilingual team, and in the future I think that's what we'll try to do, maybe, is have a separate team that does Florida, because it was like little Cuba. It was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. Being from Canada, we don't have Spanish or much Spanish up here.
No, you guys don't.
Not at all. So I was like, oh my God, they weren't kidding when they said you should have someone on your team who speaks Spanish.
Not you should, you need.
Yes, required.
So if you are bilingual, specifically speaking Spanish, you need to apply.
Yes. So if we haven't scared you away and all of this sounds good and you want to come hang with us and give us a little show special, then send your resume and your cover letter in. otherwise, what are the trade shows that we will be going to this year, Erin, that everyone can come and visit
Oh,
us
good.
at?
What do we have coming up? All right. So April 2nd and 3rd, you can come visit us in Anaheim. In June, we are back to back to back. We will be in Dallas, the 11th and 12th. We will be in, we will be in Orlando, the 3rd and the 5th, Dallas, the 11th and 12th. We'll be in Vegas, June 24th and 26th. We get a little month off in July. August, you can see us in Long Beach, California. And in October, we will be in San Antonio on the 1st and 2nd. And on the 29th, 31st, we'll be back in Miami.
There we go.
We will be in Toronto in April as well.
Yes, we'll be at the Toronto show. So we're going to Anaheim, Toronto, Orlando, San Antonio, Vegas, Long Beach, Dallas, Miami. So if you are in or near one of those places, come to the shows and say hi. And even if you don't buy anything, we just want to meet you and take pictures and shake our tail feathers. Ask for a show special. The team loves it. And I'll put that link in the show notes. So if you want to take a look and see which show you can attend, I really recommend it for anybody in the industry. You should go to these shows because you see everything that's new on the market. You can meet brands that you carry. New brands and classes and education. And it's networking too, to meet people in your industry. And I always say, keep a little eye and an ear out when you're at a trade show if you see all of the brands you currently carry in your spa. And if you don't see a certain brand, maybe why aren't they there? Why are they not representing themselves in the professional skincare world if they are claiming they're professional? And do you know what the owner looks like? Do you know how they smile? Do you like them? Are they genuine? Have you met everyone that's behind the brands that you carry? I think that's very important.
The people behind the brand. That's a good point.
So come meet us. We're the people behind one of the brands.
Yeah, we're one of them.
We're one of them, one of the 100.
We got quite a few shows this year. So
yeah.
We look forward to seeing all your faces. And if you feel like you just want to go to one of these cities, especially, or a couple of them, you like to work, come apply.
Yes. Can you tell that we really want somebody? Yes, especially if you speak Spanish. But if you don't apply anyways, we'll see if we can fit you in. And yeah, you can see a little bit of the US. Eventually, one day we might go international. So there's a good opportunity for growth within the company, or you can just be a fun thing you do here and there to plug in, and you don't have to commit outside of that. It's really up to you. Otherwise, thank you for listening. Thank you for being patient for this episode. We are going to Anaheim next week, so hopefully we'll have you some episodes out while we're gone and you won't have such a big break again. And you may have noticed that we recently started advertising on this show. So if you learn that you like one of the sponsors, go ahead and engage with them. They have some really great information out there. Otherwise, you can like, comment, and subscribe to the show. Leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. And if you don't understand any of the things that I just said, you can go to betweenbothcheeks.brightonup.com. We recently just changed that link, but everything will be in the show description, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, and pray for Erin.
Or apply.
Both. Do both.